Good morning, everyone. It's Teresa McCallum. Teresa McCallum of Finding Balance on Monday mornings. I hope everybody had a great weekend and looking forward to this week. I'm going to do, as usual, a little mini chakra oracle card reading. Excuse me, I'm still in my pajamas. It's a little earlier today than usual. I'm going into work earlier. Just one of those days. I've got a little bit longer and more things to do. So I'm not quite ready for work. Anyhow, I'm just going to get right to it. I hope everybody, like I said, I hope everybody had a really good weekend. I had a very brief one. It's a really busy stretch for my work right now, and I'm also just finished my meditation training, teacher training. Did the final class this past Saturday. So Saturday was spent in that, and I did a fair bit of visiting. And yesterday I spent the day not totally in my pajamas, but a lot of it. The only really time I needed to be properly dressed was when I took my dog for a walk. Otherwise, I was decorating the tree, baking, cooking for the week, and watching football and lazing around, actually. I had a nice little visit from a lady that I met at the New Earth Expo. Her name is Deanna, and she's her company is Windhaven something. But anyhow, she's such a lovely woman, and she's kind of walking a similar path as me, and we had a nice little visit yesterday. Anyhow, enough of that. I am going to get out my deck. Oh, I should remind everyone, in case you haven't seen me before, I'm the author of Finding Balance and Forgiveness Through Chakras and Art, and also the author of this chakra oracle deck that we use every Monday morning, Finding Balance and Forgiveness. It's got a nice little guidebook in it, so even if you've never used cards at all to get intentions or good messages or guidance, this little card book or card deck has a very simply written guidebook. It tells you about readings, how to look after your cards, some different types of readings to do, and then each one of the cards in the deck has a little write-up. If you just can't get what you think you are supposed to get from the cards, the booklet helps you. But I'm a real big believer that you should try to glean from the cards everything that you can, because I think our intuition is better than what is written down. However, especially if you're new to chakras or cards, I would highly recommend, after you've done your intuitive aspect and just got from it whatever you do, to please read the little segments, because there's also a little bit of teaching on the chakras. Very little, just a little bit at a time, so that if you faithfully work on these cards, you will learn quite a bit about the chakra system. To be honest, I think it would be a good idea to read the booklet ahead of time, like read the whole booklet from cover to cover. It's easy read, but also kind of helpful. Anyhow, enough of that. I'm going to take my deck that has 50 cards in it. There's 49 cards that are the chakras, 7 for each chakra. The chakras are the 7 colors of the rainbow, actually: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And so there's 7 cards for each one of those. In each section for every chakra, there is one card that basically just describes the chakra. There's another card that describes the painting and how I sort of intuitively came to paint these chakra oracle cards. And then the rest for each chakra section have little tidbits of information, advice, intention, thought for the day kind of thing to do with the specific card that's pulled. And then the final card is the 50th card, and it's, I don't have it here, but oh yeah, this will do. It's basically this painting. Oh no, at the back of the cards. It is this painting, which is the front of all the cards, and it represents all of the chakras and finding balance. Okay, I'm going to take my deck and shuffle it up. I do this for myself every day, and once a week I'm doing it kind of for anyone who's interested in getting a little bit of a reading for the week. It's kind of just to set, oh, golly. Well, I think I must have to pick one of those. Oh, my goodness, I'm laughing at that one. I'll finish what I had to say first, though, if I can remember. Doesn't matter. I forgot. Okay. Okay, the reason I'm laughing at this card is I've pulled it 3 times this week. I actually, before I came downstairs to do this, I thought, oh my gosh, I sure hope I don't pull this card again, because it's just, I'm kind of getting bored with it. But I think that's a big, strong message. I pulled it for myself earlier in the week, and then we did a little mini card reading in my meditation training class. We've been doing it, I think, almost every week. Pulled this card again, and then one of the ladies in the class said, boy, we must really need this, because we pulled it once before in these 5 weeks we've been coming together. So this has a big message, if not for everybody, at least for me, I would think. It is number 32, Truthful Sounds. And I feel that I may have pulled this for us since I've been doing these weekly readings. So Truthful Sounds is the throat chakra. The color is blue, a bright blue, and the throat chakra is right at the kind of the level of the throat, and it affects or the areas that it has an impact on are all the areas around the throat. Your throat, for sure, your thyroid, the areas around your neck, even up to, your ears, all that area, your mouth. So a lot to do with the areas that involve communication, and communication is probably the biggest aspect and area to work on related to the throat chakra. Truthful Sounds, this card in particular, is getting us to focus on truth and sound. So often when we're thinking about the throat chakra, we're thinking about our own ability to speak and our getting our voice out there, being brave enough to say what we want to say, or give a speech, or do the part in the play that we needed to do, or whatever, presentation at work. But Truthful Sounds, I think, is more to do with listening and hearing the sounds, hearing what people have to say, and maybe taking a break from a lot of talking and spending time trying to get our point across, or preparing for what we have to say. It's the flip side of it, listening. And not even just listening to others, but maybe spending time in nature and listening to the sounds of silence, the sounds of nature, the sounds of snow falling. We've got that happening, or we did this weekend. The sounds of birds, sounds of nothing. In meditation, I'm learning a lot. I've been learning a lot about stilling my mind and all the thoughts, and trying to get to a point where it's kind of not really anything, and that's a very peaceful place. So I guess this message, I think for me, is that maybe I do a little bit too much talking, and I need to rein that in and spend some time in silence, which I have been doing with my meditation training, but maybe it's something to really be focusing on. And I also have a little bit of a sore throat this week and a bit of a cold, so maybe it's a reminder for me to rein in and rest it up, and listen. Listen to what people have to say. And on top of that, the truthful part, it's about telling our truth, but also being able to decipher truth and knowing what is really true around us. And I don't like to say being on guard, because I like to think in a trusting way, and I like to think that if we exude kind of a positive way or aura, we're going to get back that. But some people are a little bit of schemers, and don't always say what they, the truth, and might have ulterior motives. So I guess just being on guard for that, really listening to people and knowing what the truth is. And just quickly read the little booklet to see if I missed anything. But like I said, what you get from it intuitively is the best. Truthful sounds. The fifth chakra is all about sound, communication, truth, being heard, and listening. Charging up the throat chakra involves sound, silence, and using your voice. Get outside and listen to the sounds of nature. There are no more truthful sounds than the sounds of birds, animals, waves crashing, and the sound of a waterfall, or the sound of leaves rustling in the wind. Wind chimes, musical instruments, and singing bowls are great tools for increasing the energy of sound. Singing, chanting, and playing musical instruments, especially drumming, will also help to energize your throat chakra. Listening to silence, listening to others, and speaking the truth at all times will ensure that you keep your fifth chakra tuned up and open. So that is my message for me and everybody else. And it's interesting because just this past week, my husband gave me this beautiful crystal. I collect crystals, I use them in my practice, and I use them around the house to help me remind me of the different chakras. But this is, the name of the crystal eludes me right now, but it doesn't really matter. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous blue crystal, and it is very, very useful for tuning up the throat chakra and the third eye, actually. But that's to do with creativity and kind of knowing what's coming and knowing what's ahead. So it all goes together. But anyhow, interesting that I've got this piece sitting here and we just pulled the throat chakra. That is it for Monday morning, the beginning of December, which is really exciting and a busy time of year, but hopefully a good time of year for everyone. Be good to yourself, stay balanced.